That's a...
You ever heard of long seal?
If you ever comes up here, Bob.
Head's not.
Mm-hmm.
This whole picture frame.
Okay, so today we're going to do something a little different. Early on this fall when I was moose hunting, I took 5 stoves and 5 kettles and I compared them all. I went down to the brook and I timed them all and see which one was better. Was it white gas or butane or propane, etc. So that was a beautiful day in the fall. It was 15 degrees and I've been waiting for a minus 15 beautiful day since. And that's today. So you go ahead and watch that part that I did earlier in the fall. And when you come back, we'll go down to the river and we'll do the exact same test today. It's minus 15, nice and calm, perfect day. So that's 30-degree difference for our stove test. And we'll see how well the stoves perform in the winter time as well. Hi there, welcome to the Newfoundland Outsider. So today we're going to do a little stove comparison. We're going to compare alcohol stoves to butane stoves, to propane stoves, and to white gas stoves or naphtha. We're also going to light a regular wood fire. And I brought 5 kettles and we're going to put 5 kettles on at the same time and see which one boils faster. A lot of people got a big misconception about butane especially. I see a lot of people got little butane stoves with the little butane canisters, and they're great for the summertime when it's really warm. But as you're going to see in this video, when it's fall time, cooler, and especially the winter time, propane and butane aren't so good. So today it's October, it's around 12-15 degrees. So we're going to do the test today. And later on in the winter, January, February, when it's minus 15, we're going to come back, we're going to do the exact same test, and then you'll see which stove performs well in cooler temperatures. Okay, so now I'll show you what I got set up. And I'll use my phone to as a stopwatch, and we'll do a little test. So we got 5 identical kettles. So right here I got a little alcohol stove. These are great for emergency or survival. And I got a piece of wood for each of the stoves. So this one is alcohol. October 2022, and it's 15 degrees today. So over here I got the butane or isobutane. This one's a mixture. This is the one I see a lot of people using. Although these canisters don't last very long. So there's canisters everywhere. And I bought my regular propane stove. It's got a regular bottle. So we're just going to use this one burner here and see how the propane does. Over here I got my mountain stove. It's a MSR, Whisper Light International. These stoves you can burn different gases, naphtha, gasoline, diesel. You can get ones with different jets in them to change the jets. You can get shaker jets. These are great stoves. And finally, we have the wood fire. And my muffin. So again, I got a piece of wood for each one. This is the wood fire. It's October 2022 and it's 15 degrees today. So I'll get ready now and light each one of them and get them running. And then I'll put the cans on them as quick as I can, within a few seconds of each other. And we'll do that exact same test later on the winter when it's 15 below. Okay, the gas stove and the propane stove boil pretty much exactly the same at 345. Turn that one down. Yeah, so I didn't expect that actually. Yeah, so the propane was at 3 minutes and 45 seconds. And my mountain stove with white gas in it was 3 minutes 45 seconds. They came to boil almost perfectly same time. I was very surprised. I thought white gas would be a lot hotter and quicker than the propane today. We'll see the difference in the winter maybe. All right, the butane just started to boil and it is 5:14. Yeah, so the butane is 5 minutes 14 seconds. Turn that off. Now my wood fire is not doing that great because I've been attending to the other stoves. And if I had a roaring fire going here, it would have been done by now. Okay, we got our wood fire finally done. It was 6:15 when it started to boil. 6 minutes, 15 seconds. Now, if I had a roaring fire there and attended to it all the time, I could have done way better than that. We'll do that next time. Okay, so the last one is the alcohol stove. And I'm not sure if it's going to boil. It's steaming. So it's at 65 degrees at least. But when we were in the military, we had these little guys in our foxholes over in the Persian Gulf. And you didn't get boiling water, but you got warm water at night, which was good enough. Okay, so that was our little test. We're still waiting for the alcohol stove. We'll wait a bit longer. So in the meantime, I'll just have a tea and my muffin that I've been warming. And I'll show you around here with the drone. Well, I don't think the alcohol stove is going to boil. We could have coffee. Coffee 65 degrees. But we're up to what? 18 minutes now. It's right on the border of boiling, but not quite hot enough. So obviously the alcohol stove is not going to boil. We're going to stop it there. We don't want it to hurt itself. So we got an idea of these stoves and what they can do. And when it gets cold winter time, we'll try it again. Okay, here we go. Okay, I got all the stoves on. Like last time, I got the propane stove. And I got the little butane stove. I've had to light the butane a couple of times already. It kept going out, and there's no wind or nothing today, so. And there's the gas stove. And my little alcohol stove. And over here I got my kettle on the fireplace. Whoop, the gas one is getting close. Yep, gas one is gone. Propane one is right behind it by just a few seconds. Okay, the propane and gas stove were pretty close. The gas was just a little quicker. So the butane is wide open, but it's barely doing anything. I mean, it'll make your water warm. But for $100, it should boil it. This little guy over here is $5. You get a little canister holder. And it also makes it really warm. It's probably like 60 degrees. Same as this $100. Hey, I don't think it's so warm. This one's colder. So actually that little $5 alcohol stove outdid that $100 water stove in that $100. It's $40 for that. And these are on sale for 15 bucks. So that's expensive. Of course, you got the propane stove. I don't got a small propane stove. This one's got a huge burner, so it speeds it up quite a bit. But even so, propane did really well. Of course, my mountain stove, it's my little guy. I've had this one for about oh, 20 years, I guess, or more. And I've had this for 20 years or more at least. I got a poor fire going here again today. I was going to have a really nice fire and try and beat the modern stoves. But I will beat the butane. So my wood stove little fireplace is going good. And it's just a can, a tin can. And it's a lot harder to boil the water with these little tin cans than a modern anodized kettle. And the wood stove got 6:45 today. And on a warm day I did it in 6:15. So there you go. In 6 minutes you can have a kettle boiled. And this little alcohol stove has got getting quite a bit of steam. Got some bubbles on the bottom. I think that's around 65 degrees when bubbles form on the bottom. So this butane one is at the same stage now with bubbles on the bottom. So after 22 minutes, the alcohol stove is pretty much in the same position it was in the summer. It's almost boiling, it's very close. But the butane one never got much more than that. It's got a little bit of steam coming out of it, but not much at all. And this little guy here is probably the best survival stove you'll ever have. You should always have one of these with you. It's just a little burner. Simple. And you'll get some really warm water. Like that water is, woo, that water is so close to boiling. Okay, let's see our results. So our mountain stove was the best, not by much, but it beat propane just a little. Mind you, the propane stove got a huge burner on it. And the propane was right behind it. So it was 350 on the mountain stove, 353 on a propane stove. Took me 6 minutes and 45 seconds to boil my kettle on the wood fire. And the alcohol was very close to boiling. I'd say it's about 85 or 90 degrees. And the butane never reached much more than 60 degrees. There's one more problem I got to talk about, is the cost of the fuel. So for example, I'm just going to use, we're in Newfoundland right now, and we usually buy things at Canadian Tire or Walmart. That's the cheapest place we can get it. You can get it at convenience stores and things, and it's going to cost even more. So for example, this one here costs $13.95 plus tax at Canadian Tire. And I've used almost half of this today. And it's minus 17 right now. And it never did boil the kettle. So there's thousands of these all over the countryside people are throwing away. This guy here is a little bit better. I use about maybe a third of this one today to boil the kettle. These are on $25.95 for 3 in a pack, so that's more than $8 each. And then you got to throw it away when you're done. You can get an adapter to fill these from your 20-pound tank on Amazon, but I see most people just throwing them away. This little stove here is an alcohol stove. We buy them at Canadian Tire or Walmart. They're 2 in a pack for 10 bucks. So this here, you won't boil the kettle, but you will bring it up to a very hot temperature, like 85 or 90 degrees. A lot of times. There's a lot left in here. And I've been using this quite a few times. I probably used this a dozen times. Of course, you got a mountain stove. These are just regular mountain stoves. MSR makes them. You can use diesel, gas, kerosene, naphtha, lots of different gases. There's lots of multi-fuel stoves on the market. This one I'm just using regular gas. So it's this one here. So this one here is 600 milliliters. So for 600 milliliters, that's only going to cost you 75 cents at the pumps. And I probably can boil the kettle with this 20 times, maybe 25 times or more. So these are amazing. They're a little more expensive now. They were around 100 bucks. They're like 120 bucks now. But they last a lifetime. And all you do is just keep filling up your container with gas or whatever you got around. And when you're in the country, you can take gas out of your quad, your snowmobile, your Opel motor, whatever you got to fill it up again. So I'm a big believer in these, just for the environmental waste versus these that we throw away all the time. So thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for any upcoming videos. Thanks for watching today. Okay, so that's the stove comparison between summer and winter and the 5 different types of stoves, or a wood fire and 4 types of stove at least. So I hope you enjoyed it. We are going to have a cup of tea and a snack and that now, and organize some things in the cabin and make some measurements for our renovations that we're doing. I'm having sardines.
I'm in tuna.
Mm-hmm.